Hello there, I'm Sue Borgersen. I have 3 books published this year, 2021, by Unsolicited Press, and I'll read you a few short pieces from each one. The first one is called While the Kettle Boils. It's a collection of microfictions, each story about 150 words each, 150 stories in total. Here's one called The Pacts. The pink lipstick stain on the cup is the only sign that Sylvie was ever here. The coffee dregs are at least a week old, encrusted at the bottom. Last Wednesday's Telegraph crossword half completed. Then I see Jubilee, dear golden Jubilee, peacefully laid out like a snow angel in the bottom of her canary cage. Sylvie would never leave Jube. I slump in the chintz-covered wing chair, consider making myself a coffee, but know the milk will be soured. Where is Sylvie? Has she got our agreement confused, or is it me? We had a pact, Sylvie and me, that we would travel this dead-end road together. I reach into my pocket for my diary. Indeed, we'd agreed on Wednesday, and today is Wednesday, the 27th. I look up at Sylvie's wall calendar. There is a red circle around the 20th. Like another one. This one's called The Cake. Rob wasn't home. It didn't bother Sally. He often went off in search of a unique ingredient. She started without him, beating eggs, sugar, butter, adding flour, tasting. It needed a pinch of something more. Cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg. She scanned the rows of exotic spices on Rob's shelves, opened some, sniffed, dipped in her finger, tasted. There was something about the scarlet powder that enthralled her. It would turn the cake an amazing colour, she told herself. There was no label, but she was sure Rob had all the best ingredients. He was a famous cake baker. The cake took pride of place in the bake sale and was immediately snapped up at $10. The news of Rob's arrest for poisoning his producer with a cake had the village in shock, and Sally rushing around to find out who had bought her cake before it was too late. One more from this collection. It's called The Old Man at Number 44. Lily always thought of him as such a nice old man, weeding his front garden when she went to catch the school bus, smiling at her, waving sometimes. She began waving back in the summer, just before school broke up. That's when he came to the garden gate, and she saw his eyes of flint grey, hard as rocks, despite his smiles and waves. Lily was polite. Mum's expecting me at 4:15, she told him, when he invited her in for ginger cake. Just the colour of your beautiful hair, he'd said, rippling his fingers through the air. During the holidays, she didn't walk his way. A summer job kept her busy. In September, she saw his house all boarded up, a for sale sign stuck in the overgrown flower beds. When asked, no one knew where the nice old man in number 44 had gone. So that's the microfiction collection called While the Kettle Boils. I'll read you a short piece from the novella that's actually stuck in the back of While the Kettle Boils. That's the cover for the novella. It's called Fisherman's Fingers. And this is chapter 12. Lenny fingers the piece of rag in his pocket. It is grey with age and fragile too. His rough hands catch in the fine wool. There have been times when he could have thrown it out, but something always stopped him. Maybe Billy calling up the track, "Hurry up, Lenny, I've been waiting for you," when they'd been going to snare rabbits, or when his truck broke down, as it often did, and he'd looked for a rag to wipe his oily, greasy hands. The piece of lace would find its way into his clutches, and then he'd say, "Nah," and push it back into his pocket, right to the bottom of his pocket, as if to say, "Stop popping up, stop haunting me, stop reminding me." Because without knowing it, the piece of rag was the only thing Lenny had from his past. He sometimes held it to his nose. He imagined he could smell hay or goats. One thing he could not smell was a mother. He tries to forget the home for outcast children, the cold, the hard work in the fields from dawn until dusk, the leather strap if you didn't yield enough blueberries or cranberries or whatever it was they'd been sent out to gather and pick and collect for the higher-ups to make money. He was 14 when he cut his way through the fence with a pair of stolen wire cutters. He still had those somewhere in his truck. They are another reminder of where he came from. He has no recollection of anyone kind, no smiling face, no gentle touch. The harshness seems unfair to him somehow. When he sees how other people treat their children, even those kids with only a mother or only a father. Lenny just longs for a gentle touch, someone to stroke his forehead when the headaches come on, the blinding headaches that send him into a rage. Just a tender touch from a tender hand. It's an e-novella, but it was actually popped into the back of the print issue of one of the Kettle Boils as a bonus for readers. How about that then? Now, in December, a collection of poetry will be available. It's available on pre-order now, called Of Daisies and Dead Violins. The image is beautiful. The photograph is of a special place in Scotland, and it just makes my heart soar to see it. So I'll read you a couple of poems from that collection. A villanelle to an unborn child of rural life. You've not yet heard the wondrous songs of birds, nor tasted strawberries in the month of June. The life to come is yours, you have my word. Ocean's waves on shores are life's rewards, or lakes to hear the haunting cry of loons. Wait till you hear those wondrous songs of birds. That's the second, now I'll tell the third, of parties where you'll catch bright red balloons. The life to come is yours, you have my word. In time you'll find that memories will be blurred, but sharpened with the frosting of the moon. You'll always know the wondrous songs of birds. To fly as you will wish, quite undeterred, and sip good wines with friends in afternoons. The life to come is yours, you have my word. I'll give you life, not idle strings of words, nor feed you sweetness on a silver spoon. You've not heard all the wondrous songs of birds. The life to come is yours, you have my word. And just a little one to finish off, called A Valentine, from a Scrabble lover to his partner. The empty Scrabble boards before us like a lake, waiting for us to paddle or to drift, with unknown words for me to give and you to take, wrapped in fine tissue, tied in gold, a gift. To find another single living soul upon this earth who feels the same, who sees the same, and wishes for a future built together, is like the moment when the lightning brings the truth, for now's the time to forget about the game and ask you this: will you be mine forever? And there you have it. 3 books out this year, published by Unsolicited Press. And if you want to find them, you're going to have to Google me, I'm afraid. Sue Borgersen, Borgersen, will find me. Okay, and cheers. Thank you for listening.